Hey guys, welcome back to another sports stuff video. Today, we're doing our updated NFL mock draft post the NFL season. Obviously, a lot has changed. A lot of guys have declared for the draft, have said they're going back to school. The national championship has happened. College is over. And on top of that, the NFL wild card is over. So I'll be doing another mock draft at the end of the Super Bowl because hopefully some coaches have been hired. Hopefully, a couple of things have changed around the NFL. Probably about a week or two after the Super Bowl is when my next mock draft will go up with new head coaches, new coordinators, so you know what schemes teams are running, and maybe even the Senior Bowl is when's the Senior Bowl? I believe the Senior Bowl is also around that time. Senior Bowl 2024. February 3rd. Yep, so the Senior Bowl will have happened after my the Super Bowl. I mean before the Super Bowl, meaning that I'll be able to go to the Senior Bowl, look at film, look at some of the seniors I'm interested in. But hope you guys do enjoy. Let's get into this video. Let me pull up my mock draft on the other side. I do usually mock drafts. Like I do the mock draft. I pick players for teams, and I have little notes next to them why I chose each player for each team, and then I record the video. So, starting off, Chicago Bears, #1 overall. What are they going to do? So they fired all their offensive coordinators, and Matt Eberflus is staying as the head coach with his brand new offensive coordinators. They fired their running backs coach, O-line coach, wide receiver, tight end coach, passing game coordinator, running backs coach. All new offense coming to the Chicago Bears, meaning I do think that they are going to keep Justin Fields. Now, that could also mean that they're getting rid of Justin Fields. They want someone brand new coming into the room. But I do think that the players like Justin Fields, I think there's a shot that the trade does still happen of Justin Fields to another team. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do where they keep Justin Fields. And I think the New England Patriots make the most sense to trade up. Obviously, it's going to be a lot more than just one first-round pick. But I don't really care. I just want to show the Patriots moving up with the Chicago Bears into #1, where they would then draft Caleb Williams. Gerard Mayo is the new head coach of the New England Patriots. More than likely going to be getting a new offensive coordinator. More than likely going to be getting a defensive coordinator as well to help Gerard Mayo, first-time head coach in the NFL, former player as well, won multiple Super Bowls with the Patriots. But I just think that Caleb Williams, as much as people want to say he has his downs, he also has a lot of ups. He has a lot of upside as a quarterback. I think with Gerard Mayo as a head coach, if they build an offense around Caleb Williams instead of trying to fit Caleb Williams into an offense that's existing, that can succeed more. Like if this is Bill Belichick drafting Caleb Williams, I would have probably a little bit more trouble with that. But because I think they can build an offense around Caleb Williams, I think it can work. Then we had the Washington Commanders. They do have a new GM, Alex Peters, I believe his name is. Alex Peters is the new GM of the Washington Commanders. They've been doing virtual interviews for head coach. It has not come out yet. I don't think it's going to be Eric Bieniemy. I do think they're going to move on from Eric Bieniemy as offensive coordinator. Again, new GM, going to want a brand new head coach. He's probably going to want to clear out offense and defensive coordinators and staffing. Probably get rid of everyone. So you know what? Start brand new head coach. I think that new head coach is going to want Drake May at quarterback. Drake May has higher upside than Sam Howell. I do think they'll trade Sam Howell to a team that needs a quarterback. I think he has a shot to start next year on another team. Just this year, again, same thing, ups and downs of a young quarterback. I think Drake May has a higher floor and a higher ceiling. Yeah, I'm going with Drake May. Then the Chicago Bears, obviously we'll go Marvin Harrison Jr. We don't even have to worry about mocking anyone else to the Chicago Bears. If they do trade back from 1 to 3, there's a reason they would not take a more lucrative offer from, let's say, the Giants, the Titans, the Falcons. They would not take a more lucrative offer. They still want Marvin Harrison Jr., right? They would take Marvin Harrison Jr. at 1, but they can get multiple picks out of the New England Patriots. I do think, again, the Giants, the Titans, the Falcons, the Vikings, the Broncos, the Raiders, the Saints, maybe even, the Seahawks potentially. Like, there's a lot of teams that would trade up to #1 overall and give up everything they can to get Caleb Williams or Drake May. And I just see them saying, you know what, let's take a lesser offer with the Patriots. They have less things to offer us. And we're going to go slide back to 3 and grab Marvin Harrison Jr. Him and DJ Moore would be electric together. Then the Arizona Cardinals, I will keep doing this draft pick I don't care about Malik Neighbors to the Arizona Cardinals. Olu Fashanu. Listen, Kyler Murray just suffered a torn ACL. Just happened last year. You grab Paris Johnson for the left tackle. You get Olu Fashanu moving the right tackle. Have two of the best tackle prospects in the last 10 years protecting Kyler Murray. Last year, I thought Olu Fashanu had a shot at being the first tackle drafted, and Paris Johnson would then be number 2. They get my number 2 tackles from last year on the same team. Imagine that happened last year, right? Imagine they were able to get two of the same, other the top 2 tackles on the same roster from last year. I love Olu Fashanu. I don't see a world where the Cardinals let him slip throughout their fingers and go with a wide receiver right now. Wide receiver, it's so deep in this class. Yes, Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison are ahead above everyone else. Then Rome Odunze is really close at number 3. But I think they'd be more willing to take a round 2 prospect, or even later in the draft. Maybe later in the draft they go wide receiver in the first round still. But I just don't think they go the top end guys. Then the Los Angeles Chargers, I am going to go Joe Alt. You have Rashawn Slater, you have Zion Johnson. Get one more offensive lineman to really secure the offensive line. Grab Joe Alt, have him be your right tackle. I think Joe Alt will move really nicely over the right tackle. Obviously, he's another tackle who is one of the best prospects of the last 10 years on the offensive line. But I'm going to go Joe Alt, going to the Los Angeles Chargers. Keep Justin Herbert upright. Then, for the New York Giants, it's obvious. I'm going Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is the only quarterback that I think can sniff the top 10 outside of Drake May and Caleb Williams. I like his intangibles, right? I think he's good on his feet. As you can see, his deep ball is amazing, 99.2. You drafted Jalen Hyatt last year. I think that Jaden Daniels can get the Jalen Hyatt really, really nicely. 6'4", 210, can run the ball, can throw the ball really well, Heisman winner. I think that you do this, right? Like you do whatever you can to make Jaden Daniels the best quarterback you can do, and to make the New York Giants the best you can do. We saw what Brian Daboll can do with a running quarterback who can throw deep. With Josh Allen, who was able to develop into a top 5 quarterback. I think you can do the same thing for Jaden Daniels. Then the Tennessee Titans at number 7. This is a riser for me. Talisi Fuaga. Talisi, I might even be pronouncing his name wrong. Talisi Fuaga. To me, he's a new prospect, right? I didn't really watch a whole lot of Oregon State. I'll say it. I didn't watch a whole lot of Oregon State. But this Colorado game, I saw him play because I watched a lot of Colorado because I really like Deion Sanders. I saw him play in this Colorado game, and I'm like, oh, okay. I see why people like him. I mean, if you guys have been watching my mock drafts, you know I'm not really high on Talisi Fuaga, but I'll bite the bullet. I have not watched a whole lot of his film, but everyone that I respect in the game of mock drafts and prospects have him as a top 15 pick. Most of them actually have him as the 3rd tackle coming off the board. So if by my prediction, I think the Titans need a right tackle. They have Dylan Radunes currently as their right tackle. He's more of a guard prospect. You grab Talisi Fuaga, move him into right tackle. You then have him. Left tackle, you have... blanking out his name. I know Peter Skoronski got moved into left guard and has been playing pretty well at left guard. But Fuaga moving the right tackle, you have a right tackle to protect Will Levis now. And I do usually draft a wide receiver to the Titans, and Malik Neighbors is really interesting to go to the Tennessee Titans. But you know what I mean. I just think they need something over a wide receiver. They need a right tackle over a wide receiver right now. Again, wide receivers are so deep in this draft class. There's so many good free agent wide receivers. I'm going to stick with an offensive lineman. Then the Atlanta Falcons, another team that could take a wide receiver, but I just don't see it happening. I really don't. I need to see what head coach they go with first. If they go with like a Ben Johnson, I could see them going Malik Neighbors, and I would love to see what Ben Johnson could do with Malik Neighbors. But if they don't go with one of the best wide receiver, with one of the best OC hires in the offseason, I think Jazon Newton is a great fit for the Atlanta Falcons. They don't really have amazing interior pressure anymore. Honestly, their secondary is doing most of the work, but their linebacker core is okay. I think grabbing Jazon Newton, helping stop that run defense, and he fits perfectly into that defensive scheme that they run. I just think Jazon Newton to the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, I understand. Grab Malik Neighbors, right? Get more firepower for this offense. Go quarterback even, But I just don't think there's a quarterback that should be going number 8. outside of Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and Caleb Williams. I don't see a wide receiver going to the Falcons again. Like, they've drafted so many offensive weapons that this defense is now suffering. I think you've got to help support your defensive line. I think Jazon Newton out of Illinois is the perfect scheme fit for them. Now, I'm doing one more trade. I think the Bears trade back one more time. And I'm going to do something that you guys are not going to like. All right? You guys are not going to like it. I'm going with the New York Giants. Where are they at? Where are the New York Giants at? That's right. I'm having the Giants trade back up into the first rounds. They're going to have to trade multiple first round picks, right? They sat at 6 and got their quarterback. Now they're trading back up to number 9, and they're taking that quarterback's best friend, Malik Nabers. The biggest issue with the New York Giants, in my opinion, this year was their wide receivers. Their cornerbacks are young and they've been playing well. Safeties played well. Linebackers played well. Defensive line played fine. Offensive line, wide receiver core was horrible. And in this trade with the Chicago Bears, it breaks my heart to say, Saquon Barkley goes to the Bears. That Chicago Bears team is going to trade. It's going to accumulate so much offensive firepower that if Justin Fields doesn't succeed this year, they can move off from next year and get any quarterback in the league. You'd have DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., Saquon Barkley. That's what you would have at your offensive firepower. Cole Kmet and a solid offensive line. Any quarterback in the league wants the Chicago Bears as the team that they want to helm. I stand by this a majillion %. If you draft a quarterback to a bad offense, that quarterback is going to fail unless they are a generational type of quarterback. Right? So why not build up the best offense you possibly can around a okay quarterback in Justin Fields? If he doesn't succeed, you move off him, you draft a young quarterback to succeed, or you sign a quarterback to succeed. That's what I would do if I'm the Chicago Bears. You trade back up, you grab Malik Nabers. Maybe you have to trade Saquon Barkley to get this done. But then the New York Giants, they now have Jaden Daniels, a quarterback of the future. You move off Daniel Jones. You have Malik Nabers, Jalen Hyatt at wide receiver. You figure everything else out. You have 2 really solid wide receivers. Malik Nabers, wide receiver 1. Jalen Hyatt, wide receiver 2. Wan'Dale Robinson, wide receiver 3. Darren Waller at tight ends. Jaden Daniels at quarterback. Then you sign a running back off the streets. And that offense will be powerful. I understand. Okay, I do. I understand. Why would you do that trade if you're the Bears? Why don't you just grab the best player you can? But look, there's not really anyone that they really need. They don't run. They run a 4-3, and every edge rusher is a 4-3 outside linebacker. Is an outside linebacker, outside the tackle rusher. Jared Verse, Dallas Turner, Liatu Latu, Chris Broswell, Braylon Trice. All of them are outside linebacker edge rushers, like TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. Every single one of them. The Bears are a 4-3 defense that actually have a Will, Mike, and Sam linebacker. Like, all 3 linebackers are not pass rushing. None of them. They're all zone man linebackers. So if I'm the Bears, there's not a pass rusher that fits. We just drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. Brock Bowers is going to overtake Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet played really well this year. He's cheap. You just extended him, I believe. And your offensive line, yes, J.C. Latham. Yes, Amarius Mims. I'm sticking with my offensive line. So trade back one more time. Get get Saquon Barkley. Get multiple picks. And boom. The New York Giants then get Malik Nabers and Jaden Daniels. And they stick it to the New York Jets, who would then go Rome Odunze. This wide receiver core is horrible. Just straight ass. It's bad. They have a bad wide receiver core. But Rome Odunze was first in deep catches, first in deep yards, and first in contested catches. He's a big body deep threat. And what does Aaron Rodgers love? A big body deep threat. MVS. I don't know why I can't say his name. It's Valdez Scantling. Right? He loved him. Loved MVS. The minute MVS left, that offense fell off a cliff. Christian Watson. Big body deep threats. I think Rome Odunze can fit that exact same mold for the New York Giants. You have Garrett Wilson as your wide receiver 1. Roman Dunzee's your wide receiver 2. You figure everything else out for Aaron Rodgers. Now, the Minnesota Vikings, I'm going to go Nate Wiggins. They run a lot of zone defense, and Nate Wiggins is one of the best zone defenders at corner in this draft. I think they need another corner. They have Byron Murphy, another one of the best zone corners in the league. If Brian Flores does stay with the Vikings, because I don't see him getting hired immediately as a head coach, I think he'll probably take another year or two. He did sue the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, that is bad blood with a lot of the owners. I think he's going to be a defensive coordinator for another year or two. I think Nate Wiggins is a perfect scheme fit for the Minnesota Vikings. Then we have the Broncos. I'm doing it. Riley Moss and Cooper DeJean. The only 2 white corners in the NFL on the Denver Broncos. Not only is he a scheme fit, he's a need, and it's a meme. You know what I mean? I love my needs and memes. Cooper DeJean goes to corner. A lot of people are already saying he's going to be moving to safety. No! White NFL team needs a corner. Cooper DeJean staying at corner. He's an amazing corner, and he's a really good returner. Him and Patrick Surtain at corner is going to be amazing. Have Riley Moss as that slot corner, because all the rest of the corners are pretty old. So having a young nucleus of corners as a Browns fan with a young nucleus of corners is really good for your team. Las Vegas Raiders, another team that everyone keeps saying, oh, draft the quarterback. I'm going Dallas Turner. I understand they grabbed Tyree Wilson in the first round last year, but Max Crosby's already said that if it's not Antonio Pierce, I want to trade. And I think the Raiders, if they don't grab Antonio Pierce as their head coach, it's not only a mistake, but Max Crosby wants to trade. So let's grab Dallas Turner. At minimum, Dallas Turner, Tyree Wilson, and Max Crosby are your pass rushers. A+, amazing. Yes, Tyree Wilson's been pretty bad this year. Like, he's not been the best player this year. You have Dallas Turner, who is, in my opinion, the number 1 edge defender that's going to be drafted in the NFL draft. As you can see, he is the very first pass rusher that is drafted. I think that's going to stand true in the NFL draft. Dallas Turner also is a scheme fit, right? And it makes sense for the team, right? It makes sense for the Raiders, get more pass rush, get after the quarterback, and help alleviate the issue of this defense sucks, attacking the quarterback. The New Orleans Saints, another team that can go quarterback. I'm going to go J.C. Latham. Trevor Pennings's been a miss. Horrible draft pick, horrible trade. He is not even starting for them anymore. They're starting Andres Pete over him. Ryan Ramczak's injury, they're saying, might be career ending. So grabbing J.C. Latham to be that tackle of the future is not a bad idea. Getting him from Alabama as well, back-to-back Alabama picks. I just think it makes sense for the Saints. They're saying Ryan Ramczak's knee injury, it might be career ending. Trevor Pennings's been a miss. Andres Pete is starting at tackle right now. Get J.C. Latham, fix that issue. The Colts, I want to see this happen. I love Jelani Woods, but imagine tight end 1 Brock Bowers, tight end 2 Jelani Woods. Anthony Richardson needs help, right? Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, Brock Bowers, Jelani Woods, Jonathan Taylor. Amazing offensive core around Anthony Richardson. Your offensive line, yes, it could be improved in the interior. Quentin Nelson and Ryan Kelly are doing their thing, but Will Fries was not the best this year. Wesley French wasn't the best this year. At tackle, you have Braden Smith, you have Bernard Raymond, who are both playing really well. Get Brock Bowers, one of the best blocking tight ends in this draft, and the best receiving tight end in this draft. A lot of people saying he's going to go higher than this. Remember when we thought Michael Mayer was going to go in the first round last year, and Dalton Kincaid and Sam Laporta went before Michael Mayer? I think Brock Bowers is going to slide. I think tight end, it's not the deepest class in the world. I think JT Sanders. I think Cade Stover. I think Dalen Holker. I think Jaheim Bell. All of them will be okay in the NFL. But Brock Bowers is a guaranteed hit. Get more firepower for this offense. The Seattle Seahawks. This is the only team I think that goes quarterback. I'm going to go Michael Penix. Keep him in Washington. Yes, I understand he's old. I understand he's had 4 season-ending injuries. Dude played his ass off this year. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Michael Penix. I think this is the highest he goes, right? The highest he goes. But with the wide receiver core that they have, with the tight ends and the running backs that they have, with the offensive line that they have, this is the only spot in the first round receipt that's left that I think a quarterback goes. I think it's a perfect fit for Michael Penix. I think the Seattle Seahawks, the next head coach, I don't know if they're going to want Geno Smith, but Geno Smith can at least start for one more year, give Michael Penix a year to develop in the NFL. Yes, he could come in immediately and start, but just as like a thank you to Geno Smith, like, hey, we're signing that extension. We're going to grab Michael Penix, help him develop, and maybe he could be the long-term backup, right? Michael Penix comes in from, he went to Seattle, he went to Washington, stays in Washington, and goes to the Seattle Seahawks, and that offense gets their QB of the future. Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm going to grab Terrion Arnold. I think they need a cornerback help. Terrion Arnold is probably the best cornerback in this class. Nate Wiggins only goes higher because of scheme fit. Cooper DeJean because of scheme fit. I think Terrion Arnold is going to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Or if whatever cornerback slips out of those three. The Jags defense needs help in the secondary. And Terrion Arnold is arguably the best corner in this class. He really has improved this year. I don't see him slipping past the Jaguars. Then, for the Cincinnati Bengals, to finally move on from Jonah Williams, I'm going to go with Marius Mims from Georgia. We know the Bengals love their tackles, big-bodied and heavy. 6'7", 340 from Marius Mims. He played pretty well this year. Obviously, injury stunted him, as it does almost every year, it feels like. But get the right tackle of the future. Help secure Joe Burrow's injury problems. He's had 2 season-ending injuries now in his short career. Just get him some help, right? Get him some help. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are another team that could go quarterback, but they're saying they're going to stick with Baker. So, all right, we're sticking with Baker. Got it. Whoa, what the heck? Huh? What? I'm so confused. Oh, because games have been played. Sorry. So for me, when I did the mock draft last night, the Packers were number 19. So now it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, because the Packers won. Got it. So I'm going to do the exact same picks, just in different orders. So for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I am going to go offensive line. I'm going to go Graham Barton. So currently at left tackle, they have their all-pro, Pro Bowl, future Hall of Fame right tackle, Tristan Wirfs, who had another all-pro, Pro Bowl year at left tackle. Moving back to right tackle, move Luka Decky into right guard. At left guard, you have Aaron Stinney and Robert Hainsey at center. Grab Graham Barton. Like, move Tristan Wirfs back to right tackle. He's an all-pro, Pro Bowl at right tackle. You grab Graham Barton, who can come in immediately, start left tackle from Duke. It makes sense, in my opinion. Tristan Wirfs is only at left tackle because of need, not because of want. Pay him whatever money he wants at right tackle, right? Have Graham Barton at left tackle. Boom. Tackle secured for the future. You have Robert Hainsey at center. Move Luka Decky back in the guard. You have Cody Moak at guard as well. Aaron Stanley goes to the bench. That's a solid offensive line. Like, Cody Moak needs more help at right guard. If you move Tristan Wirfs back to right guard, he gets that help, right? I think it makes sense for the Bucs. Secure the offensive line of the future. When they won their Super Bowl, what did they do? They ran the ball. They ran the ball amazingly, and they gave quarterback time to throw the ball. They could not run the ball amazingly this year. I mean, Rachaad White did what he could, but there was also a lot of times where Baker could get the ball off quickly, build the offensive line back up to be a Super Bowl contending offensive line. The Rams are the only team I think could go quarterback, and that quarterback would be J.J. McCarthy. I'm not going to go J.J. McCarthy. They're the only team I think would go J.J. McCarthy, though. I want to make sure it's said, make sure it's known, that if they go quarterback, I understand, and I predicted it, that they would go quarterback. I'm not going to go quarterback for them, though. I'm going to go best player available right now is Jared Verse. I mean, they need more help at pass rusher. Byron Jones or Byron Murphy has been an amazing story this year. UDFA free agent rookie. Amazing story. Jared Verse is a different monster, right? He only slips because, again, I don't like drafting players that wouldn't be scheme fits. And a lot of these teams run traditional 4-3 defenses where they don't have a pass rushing linebacker. Jared Verse is a pass rushing linebacker. I don't know if he really has the size to be on the defensive line. He's 6'4", 260. I think the Rams would absolutely love to have a Jared Verse type of pass rusher. You have Kobe Turner. You have Jared Verse and Byron Murphy for the future. Or is it Byron Jones? Whatever the guy's name is. The UDFA rookie who played pretty well this year. Obviously, it sucks the Rams' future has ended. I mean, their season has ended. But grab Jared Verse. Get one of the best pass rushers in the league. I think it makes sense for the Rams to get more help on the defensive line. Then for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm gonna go Kool-Aid McKinstry. I would go Liat Latu, but Alex Smith and TJ Watt both signed the long-term extensions. I don't see them grabbing a guy for a depth piece when Kool-Aid McKinstry could come in and start for them immediately. Kool-Aid McKinstry, great player, had a okay season at Alabama. I wouldn't say it was, it's statistically was his best, but it didn't feel like his best. I feel like last year he had a more dominant season. It felt like, maybe because he had less targets. As you can see, he had less targets. And usually when you have less targets, it's gonna say that you didn't produce as much, but they're not throwing the ball at you for a reason. Because when they throw the ball at you, it is incompletion, interception, tackled immediately, right? So I guess that could be part of it, but I'm gonna go Clay McKinstry. I just don't think he's as good as Terrion Arnold was. He did not beat Nate Wiggins or Cooper DeJean either when it comes to the cornerback depth of this class. So Kool-Aid is cornerback number 4 in this draft. The Dolphins, you guys know I've been doing Jatavion Sanders. I'm not gonna do it this time. I'm gonna go Latu. We know that the Dolphins are okay taking the injury risk guys like Jalen Phillips, who medically retired. But we saw that their pass rush, everyone tore their ACL, every single one of them. Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, both tore their ACL late in the season. They also lost linebackers that tore ACLs as well. So I'm gonna go Latu. They need more pass rush help and depth. Not only could he start immediately because the other guys are recovering from their ACLs, but Latu could start immediately, dominate immediately, and genuinely be a starter for the future for the Dolphins. Again, we've seen them be okay with taking those medical risks who are great players. So Latu goes to the Miami Dolphins. Next, we have number 23, which originally was the freaking Pittsburgh Steelers, but it is the Houston Texans. They won, though. Oh, I guess these games weren't played. I see. So the Houston Texans, sorry, like I said, on mine, it's completely different, like, who went who. The Texans, I think they need help in the secondary. I think they're going to go just the best safety available. I think that'd be Cam Kitchens. They have Jalen Petrie at strong safety. Cam can play strong or free safety. As you can see, he played mostly free safety in college football. But I think Cam Kitchens, he's a hard hitter, moving the sub linebacker, moving the strong safety. He's just a chess piece you can use all over your defense. And I think that D'Amico Ryans would love to have a Cam Kitchens type of player. Obviously, it's Jimmy Ward and Jalen Petrie right now at strong safety and free safety. Cam Kitchens could be the safety of the future alongside Jalen Petrie. That'd be an amazing safety duo to see for the future. Dallas Cowboys at number 24. I'm going wide receiver. I'm going the best wide receiver available. I think it's going to be Brian Thomas. As much as I love Troy Franklin, Brian Thomas's deep threat ability, as you can see, 15 deep catches, 670 deep yards. You have CeeDee Lamb to be that possession number 1 receiver. Grab Brian Thomas to replace Michael Gallup as that deep threat because Michael Gallup has too many injuries. He's just not the same player as he once was. Grab another weapon for that offense. Yes, they could use another corner. Yes, they could use a linebacker. I'm going something that I think the Cowboys would actually do, though. I think they would want to grab a wide receiver. They saw what happened in the playoffs when CeeDee Lamb's being double teamed, triple teamed. They didn't have anyone to throw to. Michael Gallup wasn't getting open. Brandon Cooks wasn't getting open. Jake Ferguson was the only guy getting open. He had 3 touchdowns. Get more weapons for Dak. If you are going to keep Dak, which are saying they're going to keep Dak Prescott, grab Brian Thomas to be that deep threat, number 2 receiver alongside CeeDee Lamb for the future. Green Bay Packers, I think safety does make the most sense, and Tyler Nubin is still available, I believe. Yep, Tyler Nubin is available, so I'm going to go Tyler Nubin. Yes, I could go pass rush, try and replace Preston Smith, but Preston Smith has played well so far. I think Tyler Nubin at deep safety, at free safety, makes the most sense. Right now, you have Simone Biles' husband, Jonathan Owens, as your free safety, and statistically, he's not had the best season. Still, we'll probably keep him on the team. Maybe Tyler Nubin doesn't start immediately, but you have Darnell Savage, you need to extend him. Bring in Tyler Nubin, let him be that safety next to Darnell Savage for the future. I think it makes a lot of sense. Again, another hard-hitting, hard-working safety who just is good. He's just a good safety. The Arizona Cardinals, by way of the Houston Texans. Let's see. There's a lot they could go. I might go Braylon Trice. I think Braylon Trice makes the most sense. It's just best player available. Maybe they do go Troy Franklin, right? Which I might do. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go Troy Franklin. Earlier in the draft, obviously, you grab Olu Fashanu to secure your offensive line of the future. Grab Troy Franklin. He's just a guy who'll always catch the ball, always be where he needs. Really good route runner, really good speed. Has the upside to be a wide receiver 1 in the NFL. But I think day 1 probably is more of a wide receiver 2, maybe even a slot guy in some offenses. But I think Troy Franklin has the upside to be a wide receiver 1. I'd love to see what Jonathan Gannon and former passing game coordinator of the Cleveland Browns. I know his name. He's our offensive coordinator now. Oh, it's gonna kill me. Cardinals OC. I know his Drew Petzing. Yep, Drew Petzing. I knew his name. But yeah, I'd love to see what Troy Franklin could do in a Drew Petzing type of offense. We saw what the wide receivers did this year with Michael Wilson, with when Hollywood Brown was healthy. Rondale Moore. I believe it's Rondale Moore, right? I don't really watch that many. Yeah, it's Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore really hasn't come along as I was hoping he would. I mean, 350 yards and a touchdown. Like, look at this, man. 3 years. He puts up barely 1,100 yards and 3 touchdowns in 3 years with the Cardinals. No, I'm going Troy Franklin. Get another wide receiver for that offense. Number 27 for the Eagles. I would go Kamari Lassiter for the Georgia joke. I like TJ Tampa, though. But Kamari Lassiter, I do have over TJ Tampa as well. So I'm going to go Kamari Lassiter. Again, Howie Roseman goes Georgia again with Kamari Lassiter. I see why. I see the traits in Kamari Lassiter. I really like TJ Tampa out of Iowa State. I think he has a higher motor. He works hard for the ball. But Kamari Lassiter, I don't know, man. I think he's more locked down. I really do think he's more locked down. There's 39 targets, 136 yards allowed. He allowed a 48.7 passer rating, 700 snaps, and only got thrown to 39 times. Oh, sorry, 400 cover snaps, only got thrown to 39 times. 10% of the time he was thrown to, he allowed a reception. Lockdown corner. So I'm going to go Kamari Lassiter to the Philadelphia Eagles. James Bradbury, Darius Slay, Avonte Maddox need help. Grab Kamari Lassiter. Then the Kansas City Chiefs. I think wide receiver makes sense. I'm going to go Tez Walker. I think Tez Walker is a wide receiver 1 in the NFL day 1. He has the route tree. I believe isn't he 6'2"? He's 6'2", right? 6'2", 200. He has the build for wide receiver 1. Has the route tree. Has the hands. Has the separation ability. I see him as a wide receiver 1 in the NFL. Having Rashee Rice and Tez Walker on the outside is a scary wide receiver duo. I think Patrick Mahomes would love to have a Tez Walker on his team. Out of UNC as well. So then we have the Buffalo Bills. I think they would have gone Tez Walker if he was available right there. I think they're punching themselves. But it's okay. Because guess what? They go Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman's been my favorite pick for the Buffalo Bills this entire draft process. Big body, jump ball receiver. Didn't mean to do that. Big body, jump ball receiver. I think he has the best, as much as I don't like those 50-50 ball guys, because as you guys know, I was very anti Patriots drafted N'Keal Harry. Sorry. I was very anti N'Keal Harry. And they drafted him because I didn't like big 6'4", 200 pounds, 50-50 ball guys. Just throw it up to them and they come down with it. I'm not really into that. But Keon Coleman is more than that, right? He has solid hands, separates as well, and he's a big jump ball guy, but he's a great red zone threat as well. So I think the Bills would love a big guy like Keon Coleman. They're probably going to lose Gabe Davis in free agency, so maybe they would go more of a Adonai Mitchell, maybe a Jermaine Burton, Jalen Polk. That could be another guy as well that could replace Gabe Davis. But I'm going to go Keon Coleman with a different receiver type than Stephon Diggs. You see a consistent guy, 60 to 65 yards a game. I think Keon Coleman would be that guy for them. The Detroit Lions, man. Braylon Trice is interesting. He's interesting. I had them going to different routes. I had them going Leonard Taylor, which I think I'm going to do again. I would not be shocked if Braylon Trice goes to the Detroit Lions, though. I mean, the Lions have such a good rotation of pass rushers next to Aiden Hutchinson that I've been saying, go get Josh Allen from the Jaguars, right? Go get a guy who's established as a #1 pass rusher on a team, who's going to be a free agent, needs his money. Go get him pairing up with Aiden Hutchinson. I still think it's possible. I think it's possible. I'm going to go Leonard Taylor, pair him next to Aleem McNeil. Aleem McNeil's been elite this year. Leonard Taylor and Aleem McNeil would secure the defensive tackle room for the future. I'm going to do that. They already have one of the best run defenses in the league. Add another guy to that. Secure that for the future. San Francisco 49ers, I'm going to go Xavier Worthy. I think Xavier Worthy, you need a guy who's more of a, not really a gadget. I mean, you have your outside guys, right? You got Brandon Ayuk to be your traditional #1 wide receiver, but Deebo Samuel plays at wide receiver 1 position, but he's also the gadget guy. Grab Xavier Worthy. Be a solid #2 slot guy. Let me actually go to... I actually did a little thing about him. Let me... Wide receiver. I want to go to Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy. Here he is. I put a little note about him in this little page. Where is it? There we go. He's one of the fastest receivers in the draft. Soft hands, solid leaper, is not afraid to catch in traffic, and he has the route running skills of a savvy vet, i.e. Deebo Samuel. And what better fit than the San Francisco 49ers? Make him that third wide receiver. You know, even if he wants to play wide receiver 1, move Deebo in the slot for a couple of plays, that could happen as well. I think Xavier Worthy out of Texas going to the 49ers would be an absolute steal. And Braylon Trice to the 49ers. David Ojabo has been injured every single time he plays. Odafe Owe needs a running mate to the point where they sign Jadeveon Clowney to be that running mate for this season for the Ravens. If they can get a true pass rusher like Braylon Trice on the Baltimore Ravens, that pass rush would be secured for the future. And I think Braylon Trice is the type of guy that would pair well with Odafe Owe. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell to notify when I post next. As you can see, pretty solid draft. I think every team won this draft. I don't think any team really reached for a guy. My favorite guys, scheme fits. Graham Barton to the Buccaneers is a great fit. Leatu Latu on the Dolphins is great. Tez Walker to the Chiefs. Brock Bowers to the Colts. I love that. I love that pairing. Malik Neighbors and Jaden Daniels to the Giants. I love the Jazon Newton to the Falcons. And Washington Commanders going Drake May. That's a great one as well. Again, if you guys enjoy it, please like, comment, subscribe. Again, next mock draft is more than likely going to be a week or 2 after the Super Bowl, because then the Senior Bowl would have happened. Coaches would have been hired. Offensive and defensive coordinators would have been hired or fired. But yeah, hope you guys see you later. Hope I do see you guys later. I'm going to start my off-season plan videos really soon. But yeah, we're going to do it. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Peace and bye.